Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the first anniversary of Return to Zero. I'm going to be talking about the story behind the album, how we came to make it, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so where did it all start from? Basically, it was in October 2023, so like almost 2 years ago, that I basically wrote this song called Upstairs, which is obviously, as you know, the last track on the album. I made like a little demo for it. It was at the time when I was writing December 13th, 1998. Originally, I was thinking it would be a song for that album, but I realised it kind of didn't fit the vibe. It was like, it was ready for something greater. So I kind of like, I just put it in the stash in the back. From that point, I knew that there was like something around the corner that I wanted to work on, really. And it was shortly after that I kind of like got, introduced to the whole like idea of recording to tape in general. I watched this video by a guy called Mandelbro, who did like a video on how he recorded a song on a 4-track cassette recorder, which I have my own 4-track cassette recorder, as you can see. I'll show you the phones. Yeah, so like I got this in February 2024. I recorded all of the 4-track demos for the album on that machine. It was super fun to work with. From then until June, I finished school. Finished my GCSEs in June. From February to June, I was just like purely recording stuff on my 4-track, kind of like getting a feel for recording on tape and getting confident with the songs and writing more songs, just keeping the best ones, recording the best ones. Eventually, I ended up getting this bad boy, mad reveal, which is basically the big bad wolf version of this thing. This is my 8-track, which I recorded the whole album on. It is a very fun machine to work with. I still use it sometimes, and it's great. It's from, I think, 1994, I think. Or maybe that one's from I think this one's 1996. This one's 1994. And it's cool, All the drums were done on my computer still, because I wasn't really confident with my drumming back then. But everything else, like recording vocals straight to tape, all the guitars and basses and keyboards. I used this Roland Super JV a lot for keyboard, like organs and pianos and stuff. That's all done on here. I used this guy for some synth stuff, especially in Torture. That was a big part of it. And this one hiding under here, this Behringer MS1. So it's all about physical gear. That was the whole idea behind Return to Zero. And if you don't,
nice.
If you don't know like why it's called Return to Zero, it's because like on tape machines, you've got like a setting, like a button that you can press. You see it says Return to Zero, and that basically makes the tape rewind back to like the start if you want to like re-record something. And that's kind of, that's the name. That's the name for the album. But yeah, physical gear. Up until recording Return to Zero, I've made music like completely on my computer with like just one microphone and one guitar and one bass. So it was kind of like my opening to using more gear, which I absolutely love now. As you can tell from my whole place I have, I absolutely fucking love gear so much, and it was
that can be taken out of context. I love gear so much.
But I just love having physical things I could like, touch. And so Return to Zero it holds a really special place in my heart. It's just like it was the beginning of who I am now. Album is No. That's a song I wrote. That was one of the first songs I wrote for the album. I think it was I wrote it ages ago. It was the first song I wrote. even before Upstairs, because I wrote Upstairs and that's what made me want to make the whole album. But I had written No a couple months before. It was in the time of when I was writing Honestly, which is like a long time ago now. That was in like the summer of 2023, I wrote that. And I had it sitting around a long time. Again, a lot of these songs I kind of had sitting around, and I finally gave them a proper life in an album. That was a really fun song to record. It happened pretty quickly. It happened, I think, the day I finished my GCSEs. That night I started recording it in this very room.
I was planning on kind of like recording the drums, like actually, playing the drums, but I don't have a drum kit here, and I want to make sure this album is sort of recorded quickly, and I'm not going to go to like the practice rooms just to record drums like every day or whatever, because that's expensive. And I already have this software drum thing that I've used for my songs before, so I'm just going to play it on this thing and just record it into the tape machine, and that's how I'm doing the drums. Okay, I'm recording the drums from the computer onto the tape machine. 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. We have liftoff. It's working.
Maybe start partially kiss. Maybe I'm dramatic. Didn't mean to make you cry.
I feel like shit. I look like shit. But music must be made.
I don't wanna do that. I don't wanna touch you. I'm scared that you'll hurt me, but you don't care, do you? You are just an animal, and I'm just your prey. I'll let you do. Oh, fuck. I don't wanna do.
Track number 2, Pills for the Pills. What do you think of Pills for the Pills, Reese?
I like Pills for the Pills. It's like the most poppy one, I feel like.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
it's pretty
Is it
popular.
the most streamed song on the album?
No, I think Meals is.
Okay, yeah, but Pills for the Pills is like...
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
up there. Yeah.
It's good live as well.
Yeah, it's really fun to play live. That song was funny because I had the main like riff on the bass. I'll play it right now. I knew I wanted that like in a song for so long. Again, it's like one of those ideas that I had shelved for so long. I finally kind of put it to use. On the day of recording, I hadn't written it yet. That's all I had. And I wrote it as I was recording it.
I know I wanted it to be a song, but I haven't actually written the song. But here's what I've got for it, and here's what I'm working with so far. Admittedly, leaving the writing of the lyrics to the day you're recording the song is a little bit late, but I'm quite happy with this. Pills for the Pills. It's a cool little punky song. Yeah.
It's quite a weird song because it doesn't have any guitars in it. It's literally just bass and drums and like a little bit of synth, I think. And that's it, and vocals obviously.
Do you think that influenced Sweat Glass Halo?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Basically,
yeah.
Sweat Glass Halo, which is like a project I'm working on now for the whole Jamaraz Music Universe thing, is like a band, which is a 3-piece, which is a drummer, a bassist, and a synth player. More like bass-focused music. So that was kind of like, that was my introduction to that kind of sound. I really love it. It's a great song to play live. Very weird. Lots of different time signatures and sections and stuff. But it's super fun, man.
Welcome to my world. We've got an Alesis MIDI controller here controlling this Alesis drum machine, which is being sequenced in this Alesis MIDI sequencer. I'm just working through making the drum part, planning out the song structure here, as you can see. Going through it on the bass, since this is a bass-based song. It's based on the bass line. Let me just walk you through my my setup here, because it's quite a unique little tone I've got going on. I've got the bass coming out here, goes to the wire, goes into this Behringer Ultra DI thing, so it's coming in here and it's coming out in two places. This is basically a signal splitter. So the bass guitar is coming in through here and it's coming out in two places. This black wire is actually a microphone wire, but doesn't matter. It's going into the back of here, which is a microphone preamp, but I'm using it as a bass preamp. So that's like the dry, sort of clean signal. It's got a little bit of compression on it. It's got like this is a DBX 286S. It's got a little built-in compressor there. Quite simple, but that's all I need. And that's going in on the first channel. So then back here, and then this one comes out here, goes into a compressor pedal. I was running it through a little bit of a bass distortion, but I decided not to use that, so just ignore that. Chorus here, bit of chorus and a little bit of reverb on the end there. And that's going into this amp, which is a Boss Katana Mark II. That's just, it's all pretty basic there, just normal. And then it's coming out of, there's like a dedicated record out sort of output here. So I'm not miking the amp basically. I'm just sort of sending all the sound from here directly into number 2. What I'm doing is I'm mixing these two signals together. This is the dry signal and this is the affected signal, and I'm mixing them together and recording them onto one track, which is track 2, as you can see there. Okay, pretty cool stuff. I know that was nerdy, but it's really cool. I've just come up with the coolest things. There's a demo that I did for the album that's not on the album, called Pretty Machine, and that song's sort of like got this sort of breakcore jungly type beat merged with a punky type thing. And though I'm not having that song on the album, I've decided to be inspired by that for this song. For the bridge, I'm having like a little jungly type thing. Just have a listen to this little. You know, something like that. It's just, trust me, it's gonna sound cool. I still haven't written the song yet. I'm just going through programming the drums and stuff, programming it on there, with that, onto this. Complicated, yeah? But cool stuff. I'm starting again. When in doubt, quit and start again. I don't like it. I mean, it's alright, but the thing is, it doesn't fit in with the rest of the album, I feel like. It just sounds a bit, doesn't sound like what I want it to. I know how to make it sound like what I want it to sound like. Which is using the same sort of software drums as we did in No. I don't know why I thought a different sort of shittier drum machine would work better. Pills for the pills, for the pills, for the pills. My voice is dead. I've just finished the vocals. I wanted to do all the loud shit before 9. Because now all I've got to do is guitar and keyboard and the song will be done. I've actually, in just 24 hours, I've finished the whole song, and it took me like about a week to make the backing track to the first version, which I ended up ditching. So, you know, it's a good, if it takes a day, it's a good song. That's my rule.
Making movies. Reese, who's holding the camera.
The porn song.
Show the fans who Reese.
Hello guys.
I was on holiday, right, in Spain. I was in the hotel room that I was in. I was just chilling out, and in the it was like the evening, and in the room next to me, I could hear these people banging. Basically, it was really jarring. I found it really funny, but it was also really weird. And so I made a song about it called Making Movies, where the whole idea is like the protagonist is like his roommate. He can hear his roommate, you know, making porn next door, because he's like in the bedroom next door or whatever. And the twist is that he like I think what's the lyrics go like? And I don't like. Wait, what is the lyrics?
Making movies, and honestly, I don't mind hearing them at all. In fact, I sometimes press my ear up against the wall.
So it's just kind of like a little bit weird and perverted, but
It is a weird song.
it is a
but,
really
like,
fucking weird song.
Yeah.
But
Everyone needs a weird song in their life.
yeah. You know, around the time making Return to Zero, I was really big into Ben Folds 5. If you
I
know.
thought you were going to say I was really big into porn.
I was really big into this band called Ben Folds 5, who are like again with like the weird like band setups. You know, like Pills with like the bass and the drums. Ben Folds 5 are like bass, piano, and drums, and like the piano is the main thing. So I wanted to have a song like that with like a piano leading. That's why on the album I decided to make Making Movies a piano-based song, even though the original acoustic demo I made, which a lot of people prefer, and I think I probably prefer it as well, to be fair. It's just like a guitar, it's just like a very Elliott Smithy guitar version, because that's what I had on me in Spain. I recorded that the night, you know, I wrote just on my phone on BandLab. So to be fair, that's the only song out of like all of these, like this whole pool of songs that is Return to Zero, you know, including all the demos and the extra songs. That's the only song I didn't record on tape, because I recorded it while I was on holiday.
It's been about 3 weeks since I've worked on the album. I've been on holiday, so I haven't really been recording that much, and it's been getting me down a little bit, because I really want this album to sort of be finished. It's Monday today. This week I'm planning on just raw donging it and getting it all, not all the album, but I'm not going to be doing anything else this week apart from recording. Alright, so since I don't have a piano, this song needs a piano, right? I don't have one in my room, so basically I've got this MIDI keyboard here. It's a full sized, you know, looks like a piano, feels like a piano. It's the next day. I decided, so I was doing like the keyboards and stuff using sort of computer instruments and stuff, but they weren't really that good, so I actually opted for using my Roland Super JV for the piano, and also I just recorded an organ part as well. So all of that is coming from this little box, which is from the 90s, which just goes to show that sometimes newer isn't always better, you know? It's pretty cool and it sounds great.
Where'd you get those bruises? That's a dark song. Disclaimer, I'm not a subject of any abuse or anything. I never have been, which is I'm very grateful for, obviously. Nor do I know anyone who has. It's just kind of like a song.
To raise awareness about it, really.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a thing that happens to people, and it's not a good thing at all. Yeah, it's just about stories and stuff, you know.
Someone else's life.
Yeah. I mean, there's loads of story in this album. You've got loads of like, some things are like, you know, exaggerated, like making movies, you know. Like that kind of happened, but obviously it's like exaggerated like so much for like kind of almost comedic effect. Not really, but like every kind of song like has an element of truth to it, as in some extent.
So I've just done the drums, and I also recorded like a tambourine as well. So it's just like the percussion is super simple. It's just like very subtle, sort of calm drums and tambourine with a bit of reverb on it. I've got this Zoom Studio 1201. It's like a multi-effects unit, but I only really use it for reverb. I've been doing some backing vocals. Got the Rode NT1A microphone, very nice. I'm doing the backing vocals before the other vocals, just because there's quite a lot. I'm going to record 4 tracks of them and then condense it down, bounce it down to a double stereo track, and that'll sort of make space for the other instruments. So that's quite exciting. Guitars are sounding really cool, really nice and chill. I've got a very simple tone. I'm just basically going into this compressor and then into my amp. Pretty clean, adding a little bit of reverb, and that's it.
Once for your house, you seem hardly at ease.
Oh fuck! Oh come on, man! I'm recording right now. Ah! Ah fuck! We also take a second to appreciate how messy my room is right now. You're looking at the floor of my room. I can't be asked to clean it up, and I will clean it. Not now, basically. Mixing the song now. So I've got a little bit of frog tape. It's brilliant. What I'm going to do is sort of put it along the bottom. You get a Sharpie and then you sort of like do that, and then you write down what's on every track, right? Right, we've got drums, then guitars, then bass, vocals, organs, backing vocals. Okay. So, drums, guitar left, guitar right, bass, what else? Vocals, organ, backing vocals, and backing vocals. So then, we don't need to sort of keep on referring to this, right? We can just look, oh, I want to turn the bass down. Okay, turn the bass down then. You know what I mean? It's that simple. That's how you dance to that song, yeah?
Wonder If She's High Yet. That's my favourite song of the album, though.
I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's I wrote that on the way back from school one day. I lived basically by some woods. You can kind of see outside my room. I had to walk through the woods all the time to get to school and back from school. And it's a nice kind of place to kind of like write lyrics, you know. So I was like, from leaving school to getting here, I wrote about half the song. I don't think I even thought about music. I just kind of just wrote the words, and that's why I think this song is probably the most poetic of all the songs, because I kind of like wrote it as a poem. I am pretty proud of it. It is my favourite song. Definitely my top 3 favourite songs that I've ever made, full stop. I mean, lyrics alone, I'm really proud of the lyrics. They tell a really like hauntingly beautiful story. Also, like in terms of music and the production of it, I'm just really proud of it. It checks every box, you know. And it was just so fun. All of these songs were so fun to me. I can't even describe. It's kind of sad thinking about it now. I've accepted it, but like it feels like I'll never really have the same kind of feeling ever.
Here's what we're using for the guitar tone. We've got a classic squish compressor, classic for Ricky Jamaraz anyway. I use that on pretty much everything, like every bass and every guitar. It's brilliant. Got this fuzz pedal thing. It's basically just a big muff, but a cheap copy, I think. I don't know. It's got a few different settings there. Muff, bright, warm. It's really good though. It sounds amazing. Well, it's Friday now. I bet she's made some new friends, and fuck you. Wednesday. Fuck, that was bad. She left on Wednesday. Oh, it's Friday now. I bet she's made some new friends, and Finally, for a finishing touch, I got a MIDI keyboard here connected to the Behringer Pro 800. These are the settings that I've got, and I'm sort of like doing this cool thing where I edit the oh, look at the numbers move, that's fun. The initial amount of the LFO modulation. I'm just sort of like, throughout the song, it's normally around here, but I'm just messing around with that to give it a cool effect. Pretty cool stuff. And now that's the song done, basically. I've just listened to it and it sounds absolutely amazing, if I do say so myself. But my hair does not look amazing. It's so outwards. What is going on? Who cares? Anyway.
Meals. I don't really have much to say about Meals, to be fair.
Meals was the single, wasn't it?
Yeah, that Torture and Making Movies.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. What is there about Meals, bro? I mean, it's like
It's the biggest song.
It's the biggest song,
Yeah.
I think, and like a lot of people really like it. I just really don't understand why, because it's kind of like It's not anywhere on the level of like, oh, loads of people like Microwave and I hate Microwave. I don't hate Meals at all. It's a cool song, but like
It's just a random song to be so popular.
yeah. It's like
I mean,
never would've
I
thought-
like the song Meals, but
yeah.
it's definitely better on the album, I think.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's quite a catchy song, I guess. I really love. I mean, that like the section in the middle where it like all goes quiet and it's just my voice.
I don't wanna eat your meals. I don't wanna eat your meals. I don't wanna eat your meals. I don't wanna eat your
I think it's got so much character to it.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? Not to get into like, ooh, AI or whatever, right? But AI music, bro, you'll never get an AI music like singing Meal, like coming up with that shit. Because that's something that a human would do. Or at least it's something that I would do, man. Because it's just completely random. There's nothing to it. All the lyrics don't mean anything. I basically have like a note called titles and phrases. And it's just like literally hundreds and hundreds of lines of just like, you know, just lines. And basically, when I was writing Meals, I think I basically just picked up lots of random lines and just arranged them so that they rhyme a little bit. And that was it. You know, I think David Bowie is who inspired me to do that, because he used to take like newspapers and cut up all the headlines and then rearrange them to make song lyrics or something like that.
This is the first tape. I've actually finished. I've run out of space on it basically. So the songs on here are Pre-No, No, Pills for the Pills, Making Movies, Where'd You Get Those Bruises, Wonder If She's High Yet, and the shit version of Meals. There's quite a lot on there, to be fair. 7 songs. Normally you get around 5 or 6, but these songs are fairly short-ish. Here we go. Got a TDK SA90. Pretty standard. I wanted TDK SA90 because that's what the first one is. Maybe having the same brand of tape, like the whole album recorded on the same brand, would be better, like a more consistent sound, but I really don't think there's actually that much of a difference. Ta-da! Absolutely beautiful. It's the most satisfying thing. Got a little friend here with me in the studio. He looks like he's died. Oh, he's not dead. It's my executive producer. Get it? Executive. Because he's a cat. Yeah, anyway. I don't wanna eat your meals. I don't wanna eat your meals. I don't wanna eat your meals. I don't wanna eat your meals.
Torture.
I love torture.
Bro. Oh. I love Torture. Torture was like the first like electronic piece of music
Yeah,
I've
it
ever
was.
made.
Yeah.
Like full stop, you know.
The start of all of the electronic side of Ricky Jamaraz.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked electronic music. Like my mum has 2 very different sides to her. She's like, in terms of music taste, she's
not
like
Batman.
so like the music she likes is either Metallica or like Duran Duran. And like, you know, 80s like synth pop, and that kind of definitely has rubbed off on me. This was my time to finally prove to myself almost that I can actually make it, because obviously up until this point I've been pretty much like, you know, I made some like varied songs, but never truly electronic music. At the time I recently made friends with this guy called James Prale.
Shout out James.
Yeah. He's really cool. He makes music as well, but he kind of like he was like introduced me to a lot more like housey kind of music. He got me into that kind of stuff, so I have him to thank really for the inspiration for Torture. It's quite like it's almost like a housey kind of song. It's got that kind of like 4 on the floor kick beat. But the coolest thing about this song is that it was like all, you know, as I was saying before, it's all like physical analog gear that made it, you know, analog synths and stuff. You had this one, the Korg mini log, did the main like, you know, that bit. that's what that's about. It was so fun, man. I spent the whole day I made it, I was sitting on this floor, for about 12 hours, almost non-stop, just working on it, programming the synths with like a hardware sequencer, which I'm selling right now. Actually, it's in my other room.
Okay, so this is the setup. God, this is amazing. So what's going on then? Right, we have this, which is a MIDI keyboard. This has no sound. This is a controller. This is going into the sequencer, right? Alesis MMT8, and the sequencer is going out to this little splitter box, which has multiple. So it's going in here and going out 3 ways. 3 ways it's going out to is the bass synth, which is a Behringer MS1, the arpeggio synth, which is the Korg Minilog, and then you've got the sampler here, the SB505. So all these aren't audio cables, these are MIDI cables, so it's basically sending note information. So it's saying, when I press this note, and then if I assign it to the right thing, to the right channel, when I press this note, then this note will play on here, or that note will play on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up the track using the sequencer with all of these things, and then record it one at a time into my cassette recorder. So that's really, really fun. Yeah, I'm just going to sit on the floor. I've got this little cushion that I'll be sitting on, like some sort of guru. Ooh, I've actually never sat like on the floor of my room before, like this. You can hear, how cool is that? So that's working. That's our bass. And that's our drums. All going through here into the speakers. Alright, cool. Let's get composing. Now what I need to do is record a special sync tone which sounds like a lot of beeps and bloops and stuff that only a machine can read, right? From this is the sequencer where all the information is held. From that into here, and then route it back out into that, so that now basically when I press that controls everything. But what we want is for this to control everything, so that when we say, okay, play, let's record some vocals, the vocals will be in time with all this. So we want to basically make this play button the play button for everything else, but obviously when you press that nothing happens. But now it works, hang on. It does work, I promise. I promise. If I go back here, clock is on tape syncing, do you see that? Tape syncing. Oh yes. Here we go. That's it. It works. I'm outside. I thought I'd take a walk because I've been working for about, I don't know, 4 hours-ish now. So I thought to stop my ears from getting fatigued, I'd reacquaintance myself with the sounds of Mother Nature. Because when you sort of listen to the same thing over and over again, it can start sounding worse and worse because that's like all your brain recognises. So if you just sort of like get outside and listen to like the natural world, that's like how sound should be, if you know what I mean. It can sort of like recalibrate, I think is the word to use. Recalibrate your ears to what sounds good and what sounds bad. I set up a bit of a sidechain thing. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that because I don't want to bore you, but basically it's like a bit of magic spice to make it sound cooler. And basically when you hear the sound sort of like thump, do you know what I mean? Where it sort of pulsates, that's what a sidechain does. And I'm really glad I decided to do it, really. Oh! This is that sidechain. Thumping, pulsating.
Torch is my favourite. It's because I helped you make it as well.
Yeah.
Because there was the single that came out.
Yeah, so the early one, the 4-track version.
And it didn't have a synth over the main chorus.
Yeah, it was the strings.
Yeah.
I remember. Did I send it to you, or maybe you just you saw the?
I saw the video and then I said to you like, oh, I really like this, but I think to make it even better, we could do that.
Yeah.
Nice synth. That's the Super JV. Patch number 40, C45, film octaves. Absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna have like a little sort of melody, sort of following the chorus melody. Thanks to my mate Reese, who is my creative guru. When I showed him the demo for this song, he said it would be cool if they had like a string sort of melody following the chorus melody. So I am doing that. So thank him for that, basically. Alright, here we go. Mixing the song now. Got all the EQ set up here, all the faders and stuff. Basically, because it's a bit of a complicated mix, there's different things I need to do to like the knobs or the faders at different parts. So I've sort of done like a list here. So as you go down, like verse 1, nothing happens in verse 1, but then chorus, the Vox goes up to 6.75, right? Vocals, so it's on 6 right now, bump up to 6.75, or something like that anyway. So it just helps, something I do sometimes to make it a little bit easier to know what I'm doing in what section, if there's a lot of stuff going on.
In the Red Light. That's the song, the one that got away. I always forget about that one when I think about this album. I think it's Alfie's favourite song. No, yeah, he said that he really liked the guitar solo in this, which is weird because I always kind of forget he even has a guitar solo. I never really thought much of it because it was originally, again, it was one of those songs that I had written ages ago, and kind of it was half a song for so long. Like the first verse, and I think it was just the first verse basically. When I was making the demos of it on the 4-track, going through all the songs, kind of choosing which songs I wanted to record, I decided I was looking at that song like, okay, well that's half a song, kind of fits in with the vibe of all the other songs I've been doing. Should I do it? And I kind of thought about it for about a minute. And so it's some people's favourite song from this album now. So kind of it all went down to that minute of like, should I do it? Should I finish writing it or not? I decided to, obviously, and I guess it kind of worked out pretty well because a lot of people really like it.
This is not an ad, right, for Addictive Drums. I'm not sponsored or anything, but one thing I really love about it, let me just zoom in a little bit, hang on, is that you can swap out individual kit pieces. And what I did, look at that kick, that doesn't look like a kick, but it sounds cool. It's a cajon, right? I just accidentally pressed on this one. I thought, oh, hang on. Sounds pretty cool. So I kept it. And now it's a part of the song and it sounds really good. So as well as the drums in the song, I'm also having a tambourine, which I've just done over there, as you can see. I'm also got this salt, right? Salt, rock salt. A little bit of a makeshift shaker. It's quite sort of tamed. I like it a lot, so I'm going to sort of put that in the mix as well. So maybe see if you can listen out for the salt shaker. But yeah. Alright, vocal chain is set up. We've got the mic here. Los Campesinos sticker there. Right, so that's going into DBX 286S. A little bit of compression, as you can see when I sing into it. You'll see the red lights come up. Ba 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 ba. We've just got some pretty basic stuff going on there. Going into the mixer. Aux end coming out a little bit. Going into a reverb unit. Just there. Gonna print the reverb onto tape. Just because I can't be asked to do it later. So that's coming in through there. Assigning it to the same track. All mono. So yeah.
If you don't know what it's about, it's basically about.
Is it the red light district?
Yeah.
In Amsterdam.
In Amsterdam, yeah. There's this place called the Red Light District, which is, I don't even know what it is. Is it like a street or something?
I think it's just a couple of streets and there's like some weird stuff that goes on.
Look it up. It's just about that kind of stuff. It's about like the story is told from like a person who's either friend or maybe sister or some like, you know, sibling, you know, partake in some activities which I will not disclose. And it's kind of like, even though a lot of people frown upon it, this person who's close to them is kind of like still sticking up for them because, you know, they're human or whatever. And it's an interesting kind of moral song.
If I see you in Amsterdam, I'll make sure no. I need a shit. I need a shit first. Hang on. Oh my god.
In terms of the actual guitar tone itself, all it's going through is this little compressor pedal, which I'm sure you're sick of seeing by now, but it just works so well for me. Going directly into the Boss Katana Mark II, and I could make the microphone a little bit lower. Might move that away a little bit. There we go. I could make it sort of lower, but I'm just going to experiment like that because I feel like, you know, when it's further away you can get a little bit more ambience. Having the mic position like that sounds absolutely shit. So try again. I think that'll give it a better sound. Also, don't mind that.
Sammy is probably the song with the most action after the release. But I mean, it's because basically, Sammy Faze, like we all know Sammy Faze by this point, is this like character in the Jamaraz music universe who makes music or whatever. And this song, Sammy, is about Sammy Faze. But at the time of writing, I didn't even know I didn't even know the Jamaraz music universe existed before I kind of came up with it. And you know, this is all pre that era. So I wrote Sammy, again as like one of those songs where like, you know, it's not happened to me, it's not happened to anyone I know, but it's like a story. It's all about, you know, all the songs are stories, like little kind of snippets of people's lives that I've either exaggerated, or my own life that I've exaggerated, or, you know, just made up, you know, off the top of my head. And Sammy was one of those stories. It was around November 2024, so about a month after I released this album, where I was thinking about the song, and I kind of like, I imagined, what if this guy was like a real person who had made music, and what if I just made that music? And then that kind of kick-started the whole idea of creating a character and then me becoming this character, like what's happened with, you know, Ross Wonder or King Hertzy or like Sweat Glass Halo. You know, like with Pills for the Pills influencing Sweat Glass Halo, like the sound of Sweat Glass Halo, Sammy has also like, I mean, kind of influenced the whole JMU. So this album, another reason why this album is really special to me is because this album is the start of everything that I am now. And I'm actually so happy with it. Like, I've never been this happy with something for so long. You know, with Worst Album Ever, I was happy with it for about 2 weeks and then I got bored of it. You know, honestly, I was happy with it for maybe, I don't know, like a couple months, but it's too depressing to be that happy about. And, you know, all my other past releases, I got bored of pretty quickly. But this kind of still holds up. Like a year later, I'm actually still like kind of proud of it, and it's still relevant to me. Yeah, it's great, man.
Okay, check it out for the piano. Guess what we're using? The Super JV, obviously. Man, this is such a good machine. So we've got the same patch that I use for the piano in making movies. Classique. Works nicely. I've got this keyboard. I mean, it's a synth. It's a Korg Mini Log, but I'm just using it as a MIDI controller, just because I can. Yo, yo, check it, right? We've got the got the lyrics here. There we go. Sammy. I wrote this at the end of last year, at the end of 2023. Actually, it's in my, as you can see, it's in my July to December 2023.
I blame myself, I blame myself, I blame myself.
Body Count. It's a very Radioheady kind of song, I feel like. It's probably the heaviest song on there. It's quite rocky. It starts out with like an organ, like a church organ, kind of reminiscent of like a wedding. Because the whole story behind it is it's like a man and a woman getting married, and it's kind of like the whole idea of like, you know, not like doing the deed before you get married or whatever. But then the guy finds out that the girl's been like unfaithful with him before, and then he basically just like crashes out. The song, I feel like, it kind of transports you along that thing, because it starts off with like the organ, you feel like you're at a wedding, and then it kind of like the tensions build throughout it. I was kind of like quite deliberate with how I did that. And then it ends with like, you know, the guitar solo at the end just like goes crazy. I always thought it was like the guy like killing the woman or something, like at the altar, something crazy like that. I always thought if I ever made a music video for that, I'd make it look like a proper like old school like horror movie or something. That'd be cool, to be fair. I'd like to do that sometime.
So we've got our clean tone, really mellow sounding, and then kick in the overdrive. So it sounds really, really nice and gritty, but not too spiky, if you know what I mean. It's sort of gritty but smooth at the same time. It's got a really nice tone to it. Anyway, a nice technique that I like for recording electric guitars, that I've done pretty much with every song on this album, that I do with pretty much every song that I've ever done. Record 2 electric guitars and pan one that side and one that side, for a nice stereo image, and it really fattens up. If you like recording music, try that, and you know, you'll be surprised. And also do that with vocals as well. That's another thing that I do.
That's the best it's gonna get, I think.
Watching movies. This is the Marmite song. Every good album needs a Marmite song. A song that people either love or they just absolutely hate. Yeah, my friend Will, I think that's his favourite song on the album, and then a lot of people tell me that it's like their least favourite, and it's my least favourite. It's an electronic song, but not really as exciting as Torture or anything. Watching movies is just quite slow. It's like the sequel. I mean, it's deliberately called Watching Movies because it's like the sequel to making movies, right? And it kind of covers the same kind of topic. It's really trippy. Again, it's kind of been an influence on some of the recent stuff I've been doing with King Hertzy, which is all this like, kind of like really psychedelic, almost trippy electronic music. That was all kind of born in watching movies.
Just to sort of like show you how like MIDI and all that works, right? So here we go. We got MIDI channel 1. That is controlling this one here, right? So it's coming out of this little wire, and it's going like to all sorts of things and going to that. Let's go to MIDI channel 2. Some drums there coming from the 707. Now we're on channel 3. And that's coming from the Super JV. I know to about 99% of the people this won't mean anything, but to the 1% of people who know their vintage drum machines, you might realise that this sound isn't actually strictly a Roland TR-707, it's actually a Lindrum. The reason is, it's modded, basically. This is a modded 707 with other drums machine sounds in it from the 80s. So it's got a 707, it's got a 727, it's got the 909 in it, it's got DMX. But yeah. You can't hear right now, but I've got this sort of like lo-fi old radio effect. It's coming from, you guessed it, the 1201.
As I was mixing it down, I was like changing the settings on the fly, making it sound go all weird, and then I had like a delay pedal which is somewhere down there. You can hear it like on the two sides. You've got two different delays at different times, and it's just like really fucking with your brain.
The plan is we have two delays going at once at different speeds on different sides of the headphones, and that hopefully will make it sound nice and crazy. Not too crazy because you want to be able to hear the words, but psychedelic is the kind of feeling I'm going for.
It sets you up for the it's the penultimate song. It just muddies up your mind so much that you're kind of like the last song upstairs. You're prepared. And that brings us to the final track, which is Upstairs. Upstairs, and it was quite nice to record Upstairs last, because I recorded the whole album in the order of the track list, which meant I recorded Upstairs last. That was quite it felt like I was coming full circle, because it all started with Upstairs and it all ended Upstairs as well, and ended with Upstairs, and I guess we're upstairs, so it ended Upstairs too.
The violin, is that red case there, if it will focus, but yeah, I can barely play it, and I originally intended to have the violin on there, but I kind of can't be asked to learn how to play the violin just for this one song, just for this, like, for an hour. I'm going to use the Super JV, which is probably one of my favourite machines ever, I think. It's so good. So yeah, I'm going to use a patch that I've used twice already on this album. It's called Film Octaves. I used it on Pills for the Pills, and I used it on Torture, so I think that'll work well with this song.
Upstairs, upstairs, upstairs.
It's about love, and it's about youth and shit like that. I mean, you know what the song's about. It's about being upstairs. It just
shagging. Yeah.
It feels like the perfect kind of ending to the song, because again, you've got that kind of like monologue thing, which I was heavily inspired by a Time Machine song, and then I referenced the Time Machine in the monologue as well, so you can't get me for that because I admitted it in the song. It's just the monologue and then the outro being super loud again, kind of felt like almost like a grand finale, and I think it is the best kind of finale for the album. And it kind of, I guess you could say, it almost links back to No. Like, you can kind of see it potentially. I mean, there's no chronological order, there's no stories that necessarily interlink, although, you know, that could be argued.
With making movies and watching movies.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's Return to Zero, man. And then after recording, there's not much interesting stuff. I mean, I did a bit of mixing. You know, while I was recording stuff, I was obviously doing rough mixes at the time. And then after I finished all of that, I listened back to them, made some mixes better. Some of them were just perfect, so I just didn't touch them. And then I released the album, and then a year later, I made this little video. So I don't know, man. Return to Zero.
These two tapes contains the whole album. If I lose these tapes, I will throw myself off a cliff. But yeah, wow. I can safely say that making this album has been probably one of the funnest experiences of my life. Genuinely, I've had so much fun.
I've had so much fun. And it feels like leaving school, now that it's done, but leaving school is great. I mean, I've just left school, right? I left school a couple of months ago. Leaving school is really great because you're sort of like relieved and you're free. But it's also kind of sad because you realise you'll never sort of experience those things again. You know, I'll never make an album like this one ever again, really. Yeah, I'm really proud of myself. I can't lie. I'm really proud of myself. Hope you're proud of me too. But wow. 20th of August. 20th of August is a special day in Ricky Jamaraz history.